Happy hour.
Cheers.
It has come to our attention that it's been a while since we've had a happy hour. So hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to our home.
We're glad to do one.
Yes.
Boy, have we
it's been
got
a
some
long
things
time.
to,
oh, man,
to share.
man, oh, man.
Yeah.
We didn't want to mention because of security reasons, but Mike went to a Mountain Man rendezvous, and look what he brought me. Yeah.
Now, let's just dispel a few rumors here, because while I was at the rendezvous...
100 proof.
Yes. And the cherries are potent, let me tell you. Right, Jonathan?
These are really good. So they've got real cherries here soaking in this moonshine.
And they're potent. But let's just dispel a rumor right here.
What rumor?
What rumor? Yeah. There was a picture of me holding up a bottle of rum and the moonshine. And just so that we don't give any false impressions, I don't know if you can see, the camera's not going to pick it up, but there is that much moonshine still left. And as you can plainly see, we didn't drink all the rum. At these rendezvous, we spend a week competing, shooting black powder guns, knives, tomahawks, and bows, telling long tales and maybe some lying along the way. But one of the reasons why we don't overindulge in the alcohol is because the last thing you want to do is get up the next morning and shoot your gun and have a headache the size of Godzilla. So we just don't do that. But you know, around the campfire we do. You know, we do indulge and have a good time, and there's tremendous amount of camaraderie. I've met some of the kindest, craziest people I've ever seen.
Why we fit in?
Yes, but I myself had a pretty good week. I had achieved quite a few first places.
The one though you didn't get first place. I know that.
Well, no, wait a minute. I got second place, but then I got kicked out of second place to third place. Yeah.
And we want to hear why?
The trail walk was 16 stations, varying tomahawk and knife targets, and you threw one tomahawk, one knife, so by the time you go through all 16 stations, you've actually thrown 32 weapons. And I ended up sticking 30 of them. Some of them are up high, some of them are down low, some of them were 2 turns, turn and a half, so they were just varying distances. And I actually score-wise was in second place, but then as the award ceremonies started, I was informed that this little kid, 12-year-old, decided to be scored as an adult. And that little turd knocked me into third place. Isn't that right, Don Diego?
And I heard he got a new camp name, too.
Yes, actually, we gave him a new camp name for 2 nights in a row. Don Diego, you know, being the kid that kids are, he's 12 years old. And it's funny because I've actually watched Don Diego grow up. For nine years, I've watched this young man grow up and watch him improve his skills on the shooting range. And I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking about him growing up and how he's becoming a
And how many
adult.
of these cherries have you eaten?
I haven't had any, trust me. But anyhow, he was proud to make, we were sitting around his campfire for 2 nights, I think 4 or 5 of us, and he was making us marshmallows. So we gave him a new camp name. We went through all the ceremony, and we're now calling him the Marshmallow Kid, which he is proud to carry.
And I heard Mikey was concerned because he couldn't find his beadwork and necklaces and thought they had been taken when his bows were stolen from the last rendezvous. And so come to find out, when I got home, I found them. So I texted the the guy that was camped next to him,
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. And said, Tal forgets a lot that his box of beadwork and necklaces are right here under my desk.
But I didn't get that new camp name, and I really didn't even get the one I was really supposed to get because it kind of got forgotten. My friend Garrett had come out to visit for a little while, and on his way out, he saw a rattlesnake going through camp, so I did only what I knew how to do, and dispatched it and skinned it and gave away...
The snake whisperer.
The snake whisperer. No, they wanted to call me Diamondback Mike. I think that's an impressive name, Diamondback Mike.
Yeah, that would be good, since you're pretty vicious with going after Watchtower.
Yeah, hell yeah, really. And rattlesnakes don't bother me. But for those that have already have an idea of what these Mountain Man rendezvous were, you've known over the past year that I've been pretty proficient at winning some prizes, and I kind of cleaned house this time around. But for those of you who have recently subscribed and don't know what these historical encampments are all about, we uploaded a YouTube video back in June. It's entitled Santa Fe Trail 2015. Now that particular rendezvous I can't compete in except for the archery, and this particular year, 2015, I didn't even do that because of all the activism that Kim and I have been doing. I just kind of needed to go away and just relax.
Need that once in a while.
Yes, but I particularly enjoyed this rendezvous because it's close to home, and it's a rendezvous that I can literally, and I mean literally, walk away from my trade tent and not worry about anything being stolen, because it's just that type of group.
You know, that's like drinking kerosene.
Well, of course. So, would you have another cherry?
I think I will.
But anyhow, at these events, you know, we compete with primitive weapons. I'll start small and work large. I actually took first place in the men's trail pistol walk, one shot at a time, and there were 10 targets, and I hit 10 out of 10. I was, I think, the only one to do that, so I pulled the prize off the prize blanket for that. I replaced some of the lead ball that I threw downrange. Another event that I won was, let me think here, let's see. I won the men's trail walk with the flintlock rifle. You forgot?
What?
You were supposed to, we talked about this, that when I picked up the rifle, she was supposed to say, "What smells like rotten eggs?"
Actually, at this point, all I can smell is cherries.
yeah, really.
Clear my sinuses.
Yes, and
moonshine. That's about all I can.
There was
yeah, I blew it.
Yeah, that's okay. It was 21 targets in that particular trail walk, and I hit 19 out of 21. And the furthest one being 85 yards. Now, keep in mind, this is all offhand. There's no bench resting, and for you guys that shoot guns out there, there's no putting the elbow against the body. It's holding your weapon offhand. So, again, on that one, I replaced the lead that went downrange. We also had a pistol varmint shoot, and Jonathan and I tied in that one, if I remember correctly. And that was a tiebreaker, so we just shuffled cards, and he actually drew the higher card in that one. In fact, there was 2 events that Jonathan and I shot. We had to shuffle the cards to determine the winner, and he won the first one, and I won the second one. So, I think I did pull a prize for that one. So I promptly replaced, no, wait a minute, I think this is wrong. These are balls. Yep, this is wrong. Excuse me.
Boys and their toys.
Yep. I promptly pulled a flask off the prize table. And there was another event. Was a 25-yard offhand poker shoot, cards face down, 25 yards offhand. So I won another little vial of gold. There's only about $10 worth of gold flakes in here, but hey.
It looks impressive.
It still looks impressive. Then, now I'm forgetting how many shoots I actually shot and won. And then I had placed in another event, and I ended up pulling out this box. All
nice.
Handmade, dovetailed. Yeah, I know. I know. Well, you know, in all the years that I've been doing this and all the events that I've won, there's never been a box left on the prize blanket for me to pull. So I either pull that or other things. I ended up taking second in the archery competition, and I missed tying first place by 1 point. First place had 40 points, and I shot 39. And of course, for you archers out there, we don't use bows with training wheels. We use the real deal.
Are you talking about the sights?
I'm talking about the compounds, exactly.
All the fancy sights and stuff?
Yes. And the greatest honor came at the end. We have a local custom horner that builds powder horns, and of course I build powder horns and have for 26 years. But to be able to get someone else's work to put on my mantle, because I'm definitely not going to use it, was really an honor. And there was only one, and it went to the all-around best competitor. And that ended up, at the end of the week, that ended up being me. I had placed in all the events that I participated in. And this was the prize, this beautiful ring powder horn. So it was quite an honor, you know, to compete with all those muzzleloader shooters, knife and tomahawk throwers, archers, and bullshitters. So I had a really good time, and for Bob and Karma, thank you so much. They do watch our videos. And in fact, the Karma that I'm referring to is the lady that did the video with us. Karma goes after Watchtower. That's who I'm addressing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for all your hard work and effort that you've put into making these such a wonderful event, and all the work that you do. And Bob, thank you for being bourgeois for the past several years. And Bob has to retire from being bourgeois due to health issues and you know, things like that. But we're sure that the spirit, and of course Bob and Karma are still going to be around, but the spirit of Rendezvous will continue to live. And if you like outdoor living in a really primitive way, maybe this might be the thing for you.
They're annual.
So. Well, not only that, you can go anywhere in the country, anywhere in the country, the United States of America, and on any weekend of the year, bar none, you can find a rendezvous to attend. And 99% of them are designed for, you know, families, and also in a way to hone your outdoor living skills.
And then his Mountain Man utopia has to be broken. He comes home and the modern world intrudes on his peace. And yeah. And it's like, he started listening to the hearing clips that I had been uploading and stuff, and he was very surprised to hear some of this shit coming out of these brothers' mouths. I'm
watching these Jehovah's Witnesses, the elders. Well, no, not so much the elders as the branch overseer, the branch
tool.
elder. I mean, the level of stupidity is just beyond comprehension. I mean, asking simple questions, and these JWs that are in charge of branches can't understand or comprehend. Excuse me, Jonathan. Comprehend instead of understand. Can't comprehend basic, simple questions.
Yeah.
They just absolutely, instead of giving a yes or no answer, these knuckleheads have got to try to skirt around. It's unbelievable,
that's
the
like
level
in the
of
clip,
stupidity.
You know, I showed him the clip that I had grabbed about slavery, you know, and the one idiot, he is like, oh, well, that's a different kind of slavery. And I'm like, what the hell? Slavery is slavery. And I love this commissioner, you know, and this Angus Stewart, you know, the commissioner's lawyer, I guess he is. But I just love these guys, you know, because at one point the commissioner or judge, whoever he is, he's like, and you're the head solicitor for the Watchtower in Australia, right? Because, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. It's like, are you just some janitor they sent here? Or are you really, the head lawyer? Janitor. It's like, good grief. But I loved how they just kind of snuck right in there.
Yeah.
With the Bethel organization manual. I don't think that O'Toole, whatever his name is, he really is a tool.
Yeah.
I don't think he was expecting that to just slide in.
But Kim has gotten some other clips that I actually sat down and watched this afternoon. We took a few notes because, I mean, just...
And that's just day 7.
Yeah, I mean, I just cannot comprehend that this level of ignorance and stupidity is alive and well in the 21st century. Oh! I forgot an event. Oh, excuse me. All right. We have a night glow hawk throw. And it's tomahawk only because it's after dark, and we don't want to use knives because if knives are not thrown properly, they can bounce back to you, and you'd never see them coming back to you at night. And fortunately, this particular evening we had a half moon, so it wasn't that bad. But this is designed as a blanket throw, so if you want to enter this particular event, you have to bring up and put a prize on the blanket. That's your entry fee. And since I started this event, what, 5 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I actually started this event 5 years ago, and it's progressed to what it is today. And I put 2 tomahawk candles on there because, everybody breaks a tomahawk candle. But somebody put a 5th of whiskey on the blanket.
Hey, come to think of it, you didn't bring that one home.
Shh. So anyhow... That's right. I shared that with the camp. So I did share that with the camp. And anyhow, Jonathan put an unopened can of Coors Light on the blanket, and that was the last cold beer in camp. Well, at least out of Jonathan's camp.
At least ones that they admitted to not having it.
So because I started the event, I threw the first tomahawk to demonstrate what it was all about. Now, this particular time, instead of using those, those glow sticks, we used balloons that had lights on the inside. So you pull this little tape, and the light turns on, and then you blow up the balloon. And then, of course, you can use different sizes. And so they asked everybody to line up, and I kind of went in the middle of the line the first go around after I had demonstrated what was to be done. And then first person through, miss, next person through, miss, and then I come up and I miss. And then everybody else behind me miss, and then we came back around the second time, and then the first through miss, and I says, okay, everybody had a fair shot at this bottle of whiskey. I threw my knife and I dead centered the balloon. Guess what I picked off the blanket?
Tomahawk?
The tomahawk, yeah, tomahawk. Yeah, so guess what I picked off the blanket? That bottle of whiskey, and then promptly shared it for the next couple of nights. So,
but we know several of you. Thank you so much for your emails and messages and concern. We're fine. We've just been so busy. Sometimes we just get so busy. Wrapped up. We just don't have time. To do videos. And, of course, for those of you who know, Tony was here for 10 days for Shiloh's birthday, so we were busy with that.
Then we have some more company coming on tomorrow, Monday.
Got some more company coming. So,
for a week. Hopefully a little bit longer.
So, we're hoping to get these hearings done, and that's, I've been so focused on that, yes, I know I'm behind on my emails again. And I apologize, everyone. I will try to get to your emails as soon as possible. But it just seemed like as soon as these hearings started, oh my goodness, I just got inundated. So I will get them answered. Anyone, that I haven't answered your question on YouTube, I haven't even been able to open YouTube messages. So you can just contact us through our website, watchtower.expose. And I wanted to mention something else. For anybody who thinks that we send people after you, we don't send anyone after anybody. We are quite capable of defending ourselves and have in the past and will do so again. So we have no need to send anybody after anybody. So if they come after you, that is their own doing, you know. So
yeah,
we don't do that.
Just keep yapping. Just keep yapping. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for what you put up on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on other people.
Yeah, and if you say something about someone in a YouTube video, of course they're going to come after you.
Exactly.
Don't blame us. We don't have to send them.
Don't blame us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're also working on another special project, and we're not going to let the cat out of the bag because this is probably going to be a very extensive work in progress. And I don't want to give anything out right now, but it has to do with a local event in New Mexico. We've reported on it in the past, and we're just going to kind of leave it at that because things have developed that Kim, I mean, this one day we just got an email and a phone call, and this just literally came out of the blue. Literally.
And you just have to talk about it.
Well, I'm not talking. I'm just saying that this is just what happened. And so there are some things in progress that we're trying to work on this right now. And hopefully if things go the way that we're hoping, we'll be able to do a pretty good, extensive YouTube video about
But this one will take a while.
Yeah, this one's going to take a little bit of time because there are outside sources that were never Jehovah's Witnesses that are learning about Jehovah's Witnesses to help wake up Jehovah's Witnesses. And I've said this before on YouTube, Watchtower, how are you going to defend against this when the world is now educating themselves about who and what you are just to help wake up these poor, innocent, lost people?
Yeah, and we are listening to the Australian hearing tapes, and we've been trying to get just like a minute or two of a gem, you know, just for a clip, because, you know, who wants to sit and listen to, you know, 3 or 4 hours of these hearings? But the problem we're having is sometimes you need like a little bit longer clip, you know, to kind of put their comment into context. And
Absolutely.
so that's the difficulty we're having is like, well, we got it down to an hour and a half. But
yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know, just gems. And some of the feedback that we're getting on is that some of the Jehovah's Witness forums have the link to the Australian Commission website, and witnesses are watching the videos of these hearings.
And some of them are waking up.
Yeah, and they are horrified.
Yeah.
They are embarrassed to even be called Jehovah's Witnesses. And, I mean, it's just...
Julian, love you, brother.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just...
Good news.
Experience.
Good news.
I hope one day you can do a YouTube video on it, because when Kim was telling me this today at lunch, I actually started tearing up for you, brother. So,
well, you are now.
Well, I am now, because it's just another example of how Watchtower is coming apart at the seams, and they're doing it to themselves.
Yeah, but it is...
People are waking up, and that's wonderful news, because some of us are having friends and family return to us.
Yeah. And witnesses are watching this hearing going on.
Yeah,
and like I said...
From what we're seeing on our end.
Yeah, you know, we have had a few, and I do know of some who are emailing and contacting the commission with evidence and letters and experiences. And, oh my goodness, if I'm getting this small amount of things that are being sent to them, they must be getting hundreds of emails.
Can you imagine what they're getting?
Yeah, they must be getting hundreds, you know, from all over the world.
You want to talk about what we did today?
Well, I don't know if we should give them a heads up or not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, because I know Watchtower may be watching our videos.
Well, but the damage is done, though, isn't it? Because this is Watchtower's damage. We were listening a little bit today, and the line of questioning had to do with the confidentiality thing, breaking a confidentiality. And as soon as we heard that, Kim said, oh, I'm going to email them the elder training video, because you have it firsthand in Watchtower's training video. Robbie, if you remember, confessed to you know, an act of porneia, fornication.
Yeah.
And he told the one elder and the other elder, there was an elders meeting, and during that elders meeting, that confidentiality was broken. See, and they had to break the confidentiality because they needed 3 elders to volunteer. That's right, volunteer on the judicial committee. And they have in the training video how they do break clergy confidentiality. So we emailed this to the commission, and hopefully maybe they might be able to use this in time to, you know, string these knuckleheads a little bit higher on the mast, huh?
Well, since they've still been adjourned and we haven't heard any news yet, they must still be trying to find Jackson.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, here in the Wild West, we would sneak up on him, duct tape his hands and mouth, yeah, with one of those, hog tie him and drag him to this commission.
Yeah.
And then grill his ass over this elder training video.
Yeah. Hey, Jehovah's Witnesses, how do you like your governing body? Well done, a medium rare.
Put them on a spit,
That's
you know,
right.
rotisserie, you know.
Yes.
It's like, if he doesn't show up to this commission, governing body, you are nothing but cowards.
Cowards. You can't even defend your own policies. You send out the people that on the branch committee to do it.
You have all of
Cowards.
these lawyers and stuff that will lie and perjure themselves just to protect you and insulate you from the prosecution that you deserve.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know, and someone in an email made a good point. If this was a country that was doing a commission deciding on whether to ban Jehovah's Witnesses or not, you better believe the governing body would be showing up trying to give their little sweet, you know, we're perfectly innocent, you know, in a religion speech to them. You know damn well that the governing body would be showing up.
Yep.
But now when there's a question about policies and stuff and how out of date they are,
Yeah.
$5 Jackson quietly slips out of Australia.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I bet this bottle of moonshine, he'll slip out of the country.
Yeah. Well, you know that's about a $20 bet, right?
It's half gone too.
Yeah, I know. But that's a $20 bet that he's gonna quietly slip out of Australia. Who do we bet? Do we bet the YouTube community or do we bet the governing body?
Oh, it's a sucker bet because I mean everybody knows he's going to be slipping out of the country.
He's slipping out of the country.
You know,
Absolutely.
all those little goons and you know all these little minions. They're going to probably be putting a little hoodie on him, you know, and shipping him out on a private jet, you know, just to get him out of the country.
Well, there again, that's just another identifying mark of a cult, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
identifying mark as a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
because you know what? Forget it. I just lost my thought.
well, I was just going to say, you know, and this is what we keep hoping, that they would be exposed for the liars and the Pharisees and, you know, just evil, evil men that they are.
Well, just, I mean, honestly, just even if nothing happens to Watchtower in a legal way, and even if these guys are stupid enough to convince the rank and file, oh, see, we get out of these because this was a blessing by Jehovah. Really? Do you think the Royal Commission putting all of this on live streaming, exposing the Shepherd of the Flock of God book, and also the handbook from the...
They have the Bethel Branch Organization Manual now.
All this stuff is being exposed. Jehovah's Witnesses are watching your branch committee officers lie on the stands because we all know better, and so do current Jehovah's Witnesses know better. When these elders, or this idiot, Toole, especially Toole.
Toole is the head lawyer at the Australian branch.
This guy is absolutely something else. I mean, they just can't even comprehend a simple yes or no question. Unfriggin' believable, But the thing is that the Jehovah Witness watching this is smarter than this idiotic lawyer. Because the rank and file can sit there and say, hey, that's just a simple question. Yes or no. Answer it. Don't dance around it. But when you dance around it, the rank and file can now see what's happening.
Well, he's even claims that he used to be a circuit overseer.
Yeah,
and
a circuit overseer
paid for him to go to law school and become a lawyer.
Yep.
So what does that tell you?
Exactly.
Where his loyalty lies.
It's going to be with
Because if
Watchtower.
he leaves, he's going to have to pay back that $200,000 that his education cost him.
Well, more than likely, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, more than likely.
Sure.
I mean, that's just a given. I mean, that brother that got thrown out of Bethel decided to take, an apple and a little something with him before he get kicked out of Bethel.
New YouTube channel, Marcus Vaughn, I think.
Marcus Vaughn. I couldn't believe it. Really? Watchtower, you had to send him a bill for an apple? You just couldn't give him that out of the goodness and the kindness of you. Isn't Jehovah kinder than that, Watchtower? And you had to send him a bill for an apple?
Well, they lay him off. He did nothing wrong.
No,
first of all, they lay him off.
Oh, well, you know why they laid him off, right? Because Watchtower is growing by leaps and bounds.
Oh, yeah.
They need 14,000 Kingdom Halls around the world,
But
and they're
laying
laying
off
off Bethel workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figure it out, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. So they laid him off. He did nothing wrong. And he has nowhere to go, and they didn't even give him that much time to pack up. Two goons with the brothers showed up and started packing up for him, and basically says, okay, you're out of here. And he says it's getting close to mealtime, and he's worked almost all day, and they can't even give him a last meal.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. And then so he goes in the commissary, I think he called it. And he gets, I think he said, an apple and a banana.
Yes.
And then when he's at his relative's house, he gets a bill for $5.
Yeah. Isn't Jehovah loving? Jehovah's Witnesses? You guys have got an absolute loving God working for you. You really do. My goodness.
That they're working for.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's just so ridiculous that this brother volunteers his time for all these years, and you just can't give him a farewell meeting? Hey, Marcus Vaughn, if you're... Meal. Yeah, I know, I'm getting a little riled. Marcus Vaughn, if you happen to see this and you're ever coming through New Mexico, I'll feed you, brother. I will absolutely buy you a meal.
And it won't be a banana and an apple, too.
Nope, it won't be a banana. Exactly.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. And then they wonder why there's so many disgruntled ex-witnesses on YouTube talking about their experiences. Because this is how they're treated.
This is how they're treated. Their God, Jehovah, is loving. Is absolutely loving.
Yeah, and then they're having these conventions, the past, 3-4 months, imitate Jesus.
Imitate Jesus.
Jesus
fed the crowds of thousands and never even charged a denarii.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. What? They're just idiots.
Mikey's speechless?
They're just absolute idiots.
I guess we're going to have to get him a bunch of M&Ms to watch these hearings.
Finish watching these hearings. Absolutely.
Yes. So shout out to everybody and love you all. And we all hope you have a great weekend.
Bye.